İşsizlik programından herkese merhaba. Bu hafta konumuz tekrardan eğitimli işsizlik. Litvanya ve Polonya'dan gelen iki arkadaşımızla bu konuyu konuşuyor olacağız. Tadas Stinochowski, Litvanya Koleji'nden ve Tomas Ripinski, özel sektörden. Hi, welcome. Could you please introduce yourself to us?
Yes, I am Tadas Stanevičius, a business management student from Northern Lithuania College, and I'm here on the project.
My name is Tomasz Lipinski. I came from Poland. I work for Regional Center of Social Policy, and I am member of HELIO, International Association of Coordinators and Animators. I came here because of invitation from Anadolu University, and that's why I am here.
You are running a project, right? That's why you are here.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Could you please talk about, mention us to the unemployment rates in your countries? It can be overall rate, it's okay.
Yes, at the moment it's actually 15.5% in Lithuania.
15.5%.
Yes, which is actually 2.5% lower than last year, which is a positive sign for our economy.
What about your country?
How is it in Poland? Unemployment rate is about 14%. 13 was in January. It's seasonal. During winter, unemployment in Poland is higher. I think it's similar to Turkey condition.
Because of the same reasons, right?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
During winter, we don't need workers. We are not building almost anything.
Okay. What about the graduate unemployment rates? Could you please inform us a little about that topic, that issue?
Graduate unemployment is a very serious problem in Poland. The rate about unemployment it's about 25%, and it's higher than it was last year. I can say that it's a little bit higher than average level in European Union.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it's a very serious problem in Lithuania as well. It's actually very similar to Poland as well.
Exactly.
It's about 20%, 25%, right?
Yes.
I want to ask you that what are the reasons in your mind for graduate unemployment? You can talk about your country, Europe, or overall, all over the world. What do you think about that issue?
Personally, I would say it's basically lack of information on how to obtain jobs. And another big reason for Lithuania especially is because employers want much experience from new graduates, which is impossible to get.
Yeah.
They want like 5 years of experience, and that's just not probable or possible.
Yeah. What about your country?
I think it's a very similar situation to Lithuania because we are close countries. Yes. And generally, I can say that nowadays we need less people because everything is automatic. It's a main reason why unemployment or graduate unemployment is so high in Poland.
Okay. By the way, I need to add something what you said before. You talk about that employers seek students for experience, right?
Yes.
In Turkey, it's same situation. In fact, it's a kind of funny situation because if you are students, if you want to train more, you need to apply to a company, but that company asks you more training. So,
so
there's no logic.
Paradox.
It's a paradox. It's a kind of
Where you can find your experience when you are studying.
Yeah, that's right. That's the main point.
Yes.
Let's talk about your country's current positions and comparison with Europe. What do you think about it? About unemployment or overall conditions in economics?
The situation as a whole is not too bad at the moment in Lithuania. Of course, we had a recession like everyone else, and we are slowly climbing back up in the economic ladder. But as far as Baltic countries go, we are all pretty much similar and are climbing back up.
As I can say something about Poland, we didn't have so big crisis how it was in West Europe, but of course we are in global village, so that's why we have the same problems as every country. So
that's a common problem, right?
Common problem, yes, exactly. Yes. Nowadays, it's common problem. It's I think it's the biggest problem in Europe, unemployment. In
Turkey, there are some occupations that preferred most. I mean, how can I say, the occupations that are favored by people. What about in your country? Is there any occupations that people favor or need it most in your country?
Well, according to the labor market of Lithuania, I actually have some facts here, that the medical staff and doctors are very much needed at the moment, as well as financial sector workers to help businesses. And the least needed actually are engineers and construction people, because new buildings are not as needed at the moment.
Oh, right now.
Yes.
What about
in Poland? We need professional workers. We need engineer. We need people who work in hospitals, like in Lithuania. And that's why we are looking only for professional workers.
And now we are coming to the subject of integration. So in your country, there is no need for engineers, but in your country, there are lots of space of engineers. So there are some interactions between that countries, how it works, right?
Yes.
In the whole
Nowadays
world.
we are building a lot, because Euro 2012, we are building highways, stadiums, hostels, everything. So
Some form of cooperation would be beneficial
yes.
for us. Yes.
Okay. Some says that the gap between private sector and universities leads lack of experience of people or students or job seekers. So what are you thinking about that issue? Are you agreeing with this topic? Or?
Yes, it is an important issue, but mostly it's for, like for example, in Lithuania, we have colleges and universities. In universities, you're giving more theoretical knowledge, so you're not given much information about jobs and the job market and employers. But in colleges, you can actually get to try your future careers. So it's a bit better for colleges at the moment.
I understood that the colleges train you more out of theoretical information, like more practical, but universities like that, more...
Universities are broader, but colleges are more focused and they give more practical information.
Okay. And what about in your country?
I can say one more time that it's a very similar situation, because our universities provide us more theory than practice, but we can do something more than we should find some other solution to fill gaps in our CVs.
Okay, so now I'm coming that topic. So what I think about the recommendations, the solutions of this problem, do you have any suggestions about it?
We have to improve our labor market. We have to change our law, because our labor law is not very correct, not very correct to the other laws, and we have to put more money to the labor market and train workers.
Did it take your attention? You always talk about the problems about not internal for people, outside of the people, the external reasons. For example, it may be government, it may be some companies, lack of activities. What about in your country?
I think that these problems are, of course, very relevant, but I think we need to inform the students more, give information. If they don't want to have it, you should at least try to, make them interested in it, because some don't appreciate the information that they might need in the future, and they don't know how much they will need it when they try to get actual jobs.
Okay, so we need to clear this up. Do you think the solutions lays down the internal of people, job seekers, or just outside of the person, like environment, external reasons? What's your balance when we compare? What's your skill when we compare both of them? What do you think about it?
I think university should help more young people to get a job, should provide more practice, and train people to how to get a job, how to write a good CV, because it's very important nowadays. Yes. And I think we don't have such kind of information.
Activities, right.
Perhaps they should include a lecture that actually does inform you of how to write CVs. things like that, some practical knowledge.
Okay, let's talk about more of internal reasons. For example, can we learn a foreign language to improve us for a kind of solution, or just can we just make training programs if it's available? So do you think, does it help us to solve our problem? What do you think about it?
There are actually some of these programs already in place in Lithuania. They are hosted by the labor market. They are not of high quality, however, so that might be a problem. Yet people, of course, they need to use it in any way. There's no alternatives.
Okay. So right now I want to talk to you about the external conditions. What do you think about your governments? Do they take actions to prevent these kind of unemployment problems, or do they have to do something? What do you think about it?
As far as external problems go, I think immigration is the most important one in Lithuania. People always seek better salaries, wages, better conditions for working, and they just leave. And this is very draining for the economy of Lithuania.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the government is not doing anything about it at the moment.
So we will come to solution part for government. Right now we can talk about the situation. What about in your country?
In Poland we have migration between cities, between main cities, and we have, of course, we have immigration. So I think it's the main issue, very big problem, because young people are going abroad, and Poland for a few years it will be a country only for old people. I think it's very correlate with unemployment. And
also, this is the good scenario. Think about that the people, your citizens, improves himself and trains himself in his country. He makes lots of things. After that, he figures out that there is nothing to do in his country, so he's moving abroad. It's loss of your country or my country, right? That's a huge problem.
Yeah, I have many friends abroad. They are going out. They are going to Germany. Like Turkish people are going to Germany. We are going also to Germany, to Italy or to England, because there is more. There is easier to find a job.
So let's talk about the government. What should they do, or what can they do? Do you have any suggestions to authorities? What do you think about it? What they can do about, for example, can they use some incentives to people, or can they just use some promotions to people, to job seekers or some companies? What do you think about it?
In the project yesterday, actually, we found a very neat solution for this, which could be provide some monetary gain for employers who want to hire back people who actually immigrated. This could be a good incentive to bring these people back somehow. And the other reason, the other solution could be just informing the students more about jobs, etc.
Yeah.
First of all, we need information, we need good regulations, and we need money for business, for
supporting, right?
Supporting money. We call it startup. Startup, it's a money for your business, for your first business. It's very important to encourage young people to find, not to find job, but to create your own job.
Maybe about that issue, I can say that maybe private organization can do something. For example, if they can just start up a new department, come up with a new department, so they can just train their employees for themselves. Maybe it will help them to get qualified employees, right?
But you are talking about administration, or?
It can be a practical knowledge. It can be practical or just some business stuff. Maybe it can be. It's try to shut, I think. So so far we talk about the general outline of unemployment and graduate unemployment. So I want to talk about you right now. Your CVs, not CVs, but how did you improve yourself? What did you do so far to improve yourself, or how did you use your programs of government, universities? What are you doing, or what are you planning to do? Could you inform us a little?
I'm working, so I have full-time job. I'm working in administration, so unemployment is not personally my problem. But all the time I try to learn something new. I try to traveling. It's also, I think it's very good possibility to find what you want to do in your life.
Yeah, you are using the advantages of.
Yes, of course we have to. It's
Life is so short, right?
Yeah, life is so short. We have to use all possibilities.
So what are you thinking about?
Well, as I am currently studying, I am of course broadening my economic skills and of course language skills, because the English language is very important, I think, for any job, really. So it's just training basically, so I can get a good job in the future.
So we need to speak about the languages, but I need to say, I need to just refer some phrase that I heard. Some says that learning English, speaking English was a matter about 5 or 10 years ago. Right now, it's a mandatory process. So you need to know it. That's the problem. So what about the languages? How can a language help you to improve your skills in another country, maybe for integration? Maybe, I don't know. Do you have any opinions about it? Language.
Well, as far as language goes in Lithuania, if you want to get a job, usually you have to actually have skills in, actually quite good skills in the Russian language, written and spoken, as well as, of course, some basic English language. As far as abroad, of course, English is mandatory, as you said.
Yeah, all over the world.
Yes.
In Poland, when you want to work for corporation or for international business, you have to learn English or other languages.
By the way, you can both speak Russian, right?
No,
unfortunately.
I'm not.
Unfortunately. But I heard that some of your countries mostly you can speak Russian or some of the other languages, because in your schools they are mandatory. You have mandatory programs except from English, right?
It's actually in Lithuania. It's actually you can choose between German and Russian. So it's for 4 years.
It's preferred, right?
Yes.
It has changed in Poland during 20 years. Before we were learning Russian, now we are learning English, German.
Guys, thank you very much. Today we so far talk about the conditions of unemployment and graduate unemployment, about your countries and comparison with world and Europe. So it was very enjoyable. Thank you very much for cooperation and compromise.
Thank you for your invitation.
Thank you very much. Eğitimli İşsizlik programının bir bölüm daha sonuna geldik. Bir dahaki bölümde görüşmek üzere. Hoşça kalın.